what's going on? Brian here, and I wanted to make a special message today, a little announcement, and I wanted to share a positive message for wherever you're at in your journey. So obviously we're starting off 2021, and I hope that this year has started off on a positive note for you. If last year was a drag, then hopefully you have some things going in the right direction for wherever you're at. And if last year was positive, if you had things going in the right direction there, then I hope that you have some momentum so that you can make a better impact for those around you. And I wanted to make an announcement today, and I'm going to cut to the chase, but I'm also going to share a lot of backstory afterwards. And the announcement is that I'm running an ultra marathon. And before I dive into what an ultra marathon is and what it's going to look like, I wanted to talk about what the last year looked like, or 2 years looked like for me, because if you're new to this channel, then this might help kind of pull things together. But if you're someone who's followed for a little bit of time, you know that I moved from New Hampshire to Los Angeles. I was building a coaching company. I started to pursue bodybuilding, and then halfway through that pursuit, after I'd competed 3 times, I'd been pursuing it for almost 6 years, I realized that this bodybuilding that I was pursuing didn't fit with the lifestyle coaching I was creating. I was talking to people about their habits and their mindset and helping them lose weight and get fit, but I was pursuing this career that was all about me being muscular and being shredded. And I was like, these two things that I want are conflicting, if you will. And after I decided to quit bodybuilding and I stopped pursuing that, it was a real challenge for me. I had to go through this period where I was talking to people about things that didn't have to do with gaining muscle and losing body fat, but really about understanding how to develop the habits in order to live a healthy and active life. How do you use fitness as a tool to influence your mind, but how do you use your mind as a tool to influence your life? Because what I've really started to see, and the thing that we really focus on now with our coaching inside the fitness project, is how much the body and the mind influence each other. So you need to have habits that help your mind stay steady. You need to have habits that help your mind get focused on the target at hand. And a lot of times the reason why we fail isn't because we don't know how to diet or know what to do for workouts. It's because we haven't sat with ourselves and we haven't gotten clear on what we want. We don't have enough leverage on our goals. We don't understand the challenges. We don't really understand why we're doing what we're doing, and there's no positive connection to that change. But if we can get leverage, if we can really break through those belief patterns or those habits or any of the different understandings of ourselves that limit what we're able to do, things can change. And it's been so empowering to live into that image and to create this movement. Last year, I think we worked with over 100 clients, and it's like, how can we reach 1,000? How can we reach 10,000? And I really want to help people. I really want to help people see that change. And so I'm making this video today, and I'm kind of going about it this way because it took that time, that 2-3 years that I haven't been active here, to come to the conclusion that, that is the direction that I want to take my life in. And I hope that just even sharing that gives you some focus for yourself. But as I was thinking, at the end of last year, I started to read David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me, which is an amazing book. If you haven't read it, I highly encourage you to dive in. And last year, I started to understand myself better. And one of the things I realized is that for me, that physical release of an intense goal that is so related to how I feel physically, and it's such an empowering vision, like bodybuilding used to be, or running a half marathon was at one point. Like, having a physical target gives me so much energy everywhere else. And I think a part of it is because of where I have to be mentally and emotionally in order to get to that target. So I was reading this book and I was like, you know what? I really think the most painful and the hardest thing I could do would be run an ultra marathon. It would be to run a distance and push myself past any perceived limit that I might have. And I think that as an athlete, that's what really brought it up for me. Is I used to be a pitcher, and when I would pitch, I would get into this intense zone where I was constantly just focused on being intense, on discipline, on psychologically tapping into a part of me that was a little psychotic in a way. It's like you think of Tom Brady or Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. There's this intense passion, and that's what I used to tap into as an athlete. And what I've learned is, as I've kind of for a while, I thought I didn't need that anymore. I thought that I shouldn't have that, and I judged myself for that part of me. But what I realized is when I'm connected to myself in a way that makes me feel empowered, it makes me feel like I'm unstoppable, it gives me so much energy everywhere else. And so as I was walking through this decision of, do I want to run an ultramarathon? Do I want to compete in bodybuilding again? It became clear that this was the right path, because it's not about the race. It's not about how I look. It's not even about how many miles I run. It's about understanding that you can overcome so much more than you ever thought you could. Discomfort is nothing more than a physical state of being for a lot of us. And when we get really grounded in that discomfort, we can start to make progress, whether that's the progress you want to lose in your weight loss, in your health, in your career, in your business, in your relationships. And so that's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this as a way to show my clients that you can set a target that's beyond what you ever perceived possible, and you can pursue it. And I'm also doing this because I want to show people how to tap into that part of themselves that allows them to pursue something greater. Because this is never anything I would have thought to do. I used to compete in bodybuilding. I never was a runner. I used to run to play college football and play sports, but it never was a big focus for me. So this is something that's totally new. And I hope that if you're watching this, there's something that you can start to gravitate towards and pull into your own life that seems like it might be a challenge or might be insurmountable. But it's really this understanding that if you set the target and you have the discipline to follow through, you can accomplish whatever you want. And so that's why I'm doing this. This is the announcement here. And now you might be saying, what the hell is an ultramarathon? Well, an ultramarathon is any marathon that goes beyond the 26.5 miles of a typical marathon. So they have 30-mile runs, they have 50-mile runs, they have 110-mile runs, and you do it in a certain given time frame. So like a 100-mile run, you would do it in like 24 to 36 hours, usually 24. This race that I'm going to be running is the Wild Canyon Ultra, and it is in Amarillo, Texas rather. And it's going to be 62 and a half miles. I think I have 16 hours to do it. Right now I'm 10 weeks out. So it's going to be on April 17th. I got lucky, it's the date after Lindsay's birthday, so I didn't screw up on that. But it's something that I'm really passionate to share here, and I'm going to be doing my best to share a weekly or at least bi-weekly videos on the running process, or at least what I'm experiencing in that time frame. And it's interesting, like I said, because for everyone that I coach, no one is a marathon runner. None of my clients are even half marathon runners. Most of them are just business and sales executives, people who are in managerial positions where they want to get healthy, want to build fitness habits, and they want to start to bring those habits into their life so they can reach the next level. And so there's a part of it that's like, well, how much should I share? Is that valuable? And the valuable thing that I think, or at least my intention of bringing value, is seeing that you can push yourself, you can accomplish something. And it's really about asking the question, what do I need in order to be my best? And am I limiting my potential? Am I limiting my capacity to grow because of this perceived limitation that I put on myself years ago? Because I never thought this was possible. I never thought it was real. And I really didn't understand how much more I could push until I started doing it. And so right now I'm running about 40 miles a week. It's gonna increase as I go, and I'm here for you. So whether that's the running that you want to hear, but more than anything, if there's things you want to hear about habits, about mindset shifts, I'm gonna put it all out here just to help you see that if you get clear on what you want, if you get clear on the target, if you understand yourself, understand what you need, and you start to say, hey, I'm not gonna back down, I'm not gonna limit myself, I'm gonna go after something that's empowering beyond what I ever thought I could, and start to pursue something that's meaningful. If you can do that, then you can start to change everything in your life. And so that's my intention here. And I'm gonna continue to push you as much as I'm gonna push myself. So keep tuning in, because we have a lot of things scheduled and planned for this year. And I'm just really excited to bring you all along for the journey. And I think more than anything now, with everything that we have going on inside the country, inside the world, all these challenges that seem to be coming up, it really comes down to the individual. If you look at a society and you look at a group of people and you say, hey, these are the group of people and they have something positive going for them or they have something negative going for them, it's usually not because the group is flawed, it's because the individuals are. And every micro is the source of change. And so if we can look at ourselves as individuals and ask the question, how do I get healthier? How do I get stronger? How do I become more understanding of myself and others? I think that we build a pretty positive world. And so that's my message. I'll leave it at that. It's 11 minutes, probably too long. I hope that you are all in a great space. I'm excited, I'm empowered, and feel free to let me know any of the things you want to see or any thoughts that resonate with you from this video below. But subscribe if you're new to this channel, and give it a like, give it a thumbs up. It's a big help for me, and more than anything, keep crushing it, keep showing up, and keep your pace. See y'all.